Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome to Horizon Chase 2. This is the sequel to Horizon Chase, which came out many years ago on iOS and Android and subsequently released some console and PC versions, and I didn't realize how old this game was until the sequel was announced, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I have been waiting for a sequel to this game for a very long time because I always thought the original game was quite underrated. It was pretty fun to play, but it was kind of shallow in its gameplay, yet it was very casual. It served a very fun little niche of racing games where it tried to emulate the very old arcade racing games back in like the 80s and 90s. But let's talk, of course, about Horizon Chase 2. Right now, it is only available on Apple Arcade. They do say that a PC and console version is coming in 2023, but there is no exact release date about that yet. But there is also no word about a standalone mobile version for iOS or Android. So unfortunately, for mobile gamers, it does seem like Apple Arcade will be the only way to play this game as of now. The biggest switch from Horizon Chase 1 is now everything is entirely in 3D. So previously, the emulation of that older visual style for arcade games was actually pretty accurate because most of those games were not actually 3D, they were mostly in 2D, and that's kind of what happened with Horizon Chase 1, but now everything is in 3D. So the visuals, in my opinion, are very stunning. The environments are really detailed, yet they're very large in scale. There is a day-night system with dynamic lighting, which is a really massive upgrade from the first game. Now, it still is a low poly art style, but the improved lighting and the massive 3D environments do combine to make it a pretty darn nice immersive visual presentation. Now, the audio is still an originally developed soundtrack, which is really awesome to see, especially for content creators, but it also does match the retro vibe of the game, and it just sounds quite nice in my opinion. It's not intense or anything like that, but it is really good to match the casual style of the game. Now, in this game so far, there are three main ways to play. The World Tour, which is the standard single-player experience progressing through different parts of the world. There is the Playground mode, which is the real-time multiplayer mode, which we'll talk about in a bit, and the Tournament mode, which I think is just 4 races in a row. I couldn't quite unlock that yet because you have to progress a bit into the campaign before you can get to it. Now, just touching on the multiplayer experience for a second, it seems like the entire environment was based off of your ping or latency, so I was skipping around and teleporting a lot, and not only was my character skipping around, or I guess car, but the entire world was, so it was really annoying to play. I'm sure something like this can be ironed out with updates, which they do say are coming, but yeah, the multiplayer was really not that great just because of the lag. Now, I won't show too much of it, but I just wanted to show you guys that it does exist, and real-time multiplayer is nice to have. So let's talk about the cars for a sec. Once again, they are not branded cars, so you won't see Audi or Bugatti specifically, but some cars you can tell were based off the real-life models. So for example, one of the cars in this video you'll see is obviously a Viper-inspired model. However, there are some cars in this game that I just don't recognize and look very unique. Now, I'm not sure if maybe they're just cars in the other parts of the world that don't come to America and that's why I don't recognize them, or maybe they are entirely original from the developers. Now, all of these cars can be customized. Unfortunately for the colors, you can't do any color you want, but you can do a select amount of colors, and you can now upgrade the rims, and there are also body kits, which is really cool to see. So you can do wide bodies and different styles for different cars, which is really awesome to see. And as far as I can tell right now, there aren't any like in-game purchases. Obviously, that's one of the main things about Apple Arcade. So at least for now, everything can be customized and upgraded using various rewards and through progression. And talking about the upgrades for a second, there are car upgrades kind of similarly to the Asphalt franchise. So let's talk about the gameplay itself, because the core gameplay loop is still pretty much the same as the original Horizon Chase. As I was driving, I felt that it was very similar to Horizon Chase 1. Now, some of you might find this to be a very good thing. It really does nail that retro feel to it. But in my opinion, this is somewhat disappointing. I would have been fine if they kept the handling, but expanded the core gameplay loop, like added different things on the track or to do with your car, but unfortunately, they didn't do that. So races still pretty much feel the same as the original Horizon Chase. In addition to the actual handling itself, you still do collect coins and nitro bottles throughout the race. However, the gas mechanic in the middle of a race that was in the original Horizon Chase is now removed, which is such a relief because in my opinion that mechanic was just kind of annoying. Now, beyond just getting to the finish line in first place, the only other mode that I ran into so far, I haven't played through the entire campaign, but the other types of race that I ran into was a solo race where the objective is to break all the boxes boxes on the track. So not very inspiring for a different type of game mode in my opinion, but it is there nonetheless. Now, in terms of quality of life features, this game definitely is underwhelming. There are no control options, and the buttons can't even be customized, which led to my hands feeling very cramped while after a few races, and I can't even change from kilometers an hour to miles an hour. However, with all of that being said, I definitely enjoyed my time so far playing Horizon Chase 2 for the first half hour or so that I got to play. I'm still gonna play. I think this is a very enjoyable game. I want to see all of the different tracks and unlock the different cars, so I definitely will be progressing throughout this game over the coming weeks. Now, as far as I'm aware, they did say there are updates coming, so I do hope that they can expand the gameplay over time. It would be very beneficial to this game in my opinion if they added drastically new modes or different ways to play the game. That's something that I think is very lacking in modern racing games, so hopefully they can add some of that within the next coming months. All in all though, this is still a very fun casual arcade racer that anyone can pick up and enjoy, and that's one of the best parts about this game is that anyone can just pick up and play the game. You don't need to have any previous knowledge of cars or tracks or locations or anything like that. It's very simple to play. The controls are easy to understand, so that's nice to see, and I'm glad that they at least stuck to their roots in that sense. But if you are looking for a lot of depth in your gameplay, unfortunately I don't think this game will ever have it. But again, it makes for a very good casual arcade racing experience. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts on Horizon Chase 2 in the comment section down below. This is by no means a full review of the game or anything like that. I just wanted to get this video out there to show you guys some gameplay. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.